from the support of the ground, that you are also supported from the inside out from this life force. And the eyes could be closed or soft gaze. And today's practice of vitality and life force will also introduce circular movement, and we are acknowledging the circular movement of our breath, or three-dimensionality, as you breathe down into your pelvic bowl, front, back, and sides. And we'll use this awareness of our circular nature of our breath, or three-dimensionality, to help support us, our internal life force, to support our circular movements with the body as we interact and explore our relationship of inner space and outer space. Now taking your hands to the front of your ribs, the bottom ribs. So we'll use our hands and our breath to, again, acknowledge the life force flowing within us and our three-dimensional support system. Inhale, breathing fully into your ribs, into your hands. Exhaling, feeling those circles of your ribs coming closer together, belly in and up. Now keep that engagement of belly in and up as you, again, breathe into your ribs. And exhale. Starting with the subtle but powerful movement of our breath. One more time. And once you exhale, give yourself a hug, opposite hand to opposite side of your ribs. 3 full, nourishing breaths, own breath. Relax your shoulders. As we explore our vitality of our breath, imagine your breath is like liquid love letters that you're sending to the spaces and places of your body that haven't come alive in a while, that haven't been visited from your breath or movement, with compassion and love. Liquid vitality from the inside out. After your third round, take your hands to the back bottom ribs. So it could be the back of your hands on your ribs. 3 full cycles of breath. Imagine today's practice as being fluid, liquid vitality, not only from the inside, but also expressed through your movements through space. And after your last round, you can slowly open your eyes, interlace your fingers, and circle your wrist around 4 times each direction. So the element that we'll invite today is more fluid, more liquidy. Motion is lotion, movement is medicine, through circular movement that is really nice for the fascia. That will be our other focus today. Fascia loves circular movement. And then keep the wrists connected and separate your fingers. And moving your wrist in opposite directions. It doesn't have to be anything perfect or choreographed. Exploring, keeping a connection of the back of the wrist or some point of contact with the wrist. And you can imagine that your hands are kind of like fish swimming around each other in opposite direction. Brings to mind, for me, like the Pisces symbol, also yin and yang. Right? So today we'll also explore this circular movement and the dance of opposites, like the black and the white. You get a reverse. That's for your brain. The white and the black, moving within each other, yet maintaining a sense of differentiation. And then we'll release the hands, and we'll do some alternate nostril breathing before we get into the bigger movements. So with your right hand, you're going to take your first 2 fingers to your forehead, to your third eye center, and using your thumb and your ring finger and your pinky finger to close off the nostrils. First, open both nostrils and empty out the air from both nostrils. Take a full breath in through both nostrils. Close off your right And breathe out of your left. Breathe in through left. Close left, breathe out of right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out of left. Do that a couple more times. Own breath. So we're dancing or weaving our awareness from right side to left side with the breath, right nostril, left nostril, right side of the brain, left side of the brain. Own breath, relaxing the shoulders and the jaw. Acknowledging the circular nature of our breath. Circular movement, that the qualities of being circular tend to be more nourishing in different ways than when we focus only on the linear. And our modern day living tends to be dominant, linear dominant. We're also balancing out our habitual patterns of linear living through circular breathing and circular movement. Last round, out through your left nostril on the out breath. And slowly releasing both hands to your thighs. A couple rounds of breathing in and out through both nostrils. And you can slowly open your eyes again, staying in your comfortable seated position. Let's acknowledge the circular nature of our joints, starting with the head, turning your head right and left 3 times each direction. Meeting center, chin up and down. 3 times total. And now center, 3 neck rolls, maintaining heaviness of your shoulders away from your ears. Right, through this circular movement, again, we're acknowledging our 3-dimensionality, embracing all aspects of ourselves. You can imagine this motion as lotion, that you are spreading out evenly within the joints. And then we'll come to center. And then spine movements, spinal movements, essential spinal movements. So you can take your hands on your knees, or if you need to, slide them slightly back. And then extend through the spine as you open your chin or lift your chin. And as you exhale, rocking back, pelvis rock backs, look inward into your cat-like shape. Inhale, expansion, this pulsation of the life force. Our breath has this pulsation, this dance of contraction and expansion. That is the life force within us and all around us. One more round. Allow this to be an exploration. I'm not trying to make anything too crisp, and definitely not trying to make anything perfect. And bring it to center and invite more circular movement. You can even allow your head to get more into it, right? As you extend forward, looking inward, as you pass through spinal flexion, bringing the pelvis back, switching directions, other way. Always feel free to linger anywhere that needs extra breath and attention. One more round. You're reaching out to the corners of the room through your circular movement. And we'll bring it to center. Side to side movement. Right hand to the right, reach your left arm overhead. You could bend your right elbow to the ground and reaching up and to the left. Yeah, so you could be reaching towards the corners of the room. Or maybe you're in a more circular room. I was listening to a podcast recently about how certain cultures don't have square or rectangular or linear rooms, but only circular. It was really interesting. I'll have to send you the link once I have to find it again. Side to side. Right? We really adapt mentally, emotionally, physically to our environment. So it's a very interesting concept to have more circular architecture. And we'll bring it to center, extend your arms out. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, and now rotation through the spine, turning side to side. And if you want, you can invite in an inhale to the right, exhale to the left, and you can pick it up. Picking up the pace or exploring this breath can be uplifting, and it can meet yourself where you are, increase a sense of vitality. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meeting center, extend your arms out. And lateral gliding, and you can get even more liquidy, like your lava moving through some other form of liquid. Side to side, you can even let the head tilt side to side. For another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend to the arms, palms up, and then root down through the sitting bones. Reach your arms up. You can interlace your fingers and release index fingers and thumb, or flip the palms up. All right, you're increasing the length of your side body, inviting in architecturally more space to receive the abundance and the vitality of your breath, of the life force. And slowly release your arms down. We'll make our way onto our backs just for some different explorations in space in a different position. Hug your knees into your chest. If you haven't yet, give yourself a hug of gratitude for this radical act of self-care. Flex your ankles and you create a little bit of resistance of your hands on your shins. Energetically lengthen your shins towards your ankles. And breathing 3-dimensionally, especially the back of the ribs. Breathing the back of the ribs to the ground, relax your shoulders. And exhale, hug the knees closer in as you soften your hip creases and begin to circle your knees around in one direction. And switch directions. Other way, relax your shoulders, base of the neck, base of the skull. And let's make our way into a happy baby pose. Separate the knees and the feet, grabbing onto the outer edges of the feet and bring the soles of the feet to the sky. And I like to take my thumbs to like the pinky, the base of the pinky to help spread out there. But you're using your hands to take your outer edges of your feet, pull them down to the ground, thigh bones to the ground, but press the inner edges of your feet towards the sky. So it's like mountain pose in the legs. And rockabye baby, side to side. Feel free to have the right thigh, right knee come down to the ground as you rock to the right and to the left. So bringing in a sense of circular movement, not trying to make anything too crisp. All right, as we explore and acknowledge this sense of nourishment through circular movement, we're also hydrating our fascial system and also remembering our sense of elasticity and recoil. That will also be part of our practice today. Good. 2 more times, each direction. Slightly addictive. Now bring it to center, release your hands, and have your knees over your hips, about 90-degree angle. The feet could be relaxed, if that feels better to you. We'll explore like a big body yawn. I say it often. I love watching my daughter wake up in the morning because she does like this big stretch of the body, and it's embracing the good tension and the resistance from within. So you can reach your right arm up and extend your left leg, or you do the same side, right? I'm extending my right leg and my right arm. Right? Like you're taking a big body yawn. So there's a sense of resistance of being connected to the core, not in a rigid way, but in a integrated way. Like you're maintaining a sense of integrity and stretch in this big body yawn. Good. And let's change where we are in space. You can roll on over to your right side and reach and expand with the top arm and the top leg, maintaining a sense of integrity. Our fascial system is liquidy, but it is also maintaining a sense of integrity and form. So you can find some fluidity within that form. And then pass through center and to the left. Reach and stretch, big body yawn through this interconnection through the body. This good tension, we're embracing the good resistance, the good tension. So it's as if you're moving through externally molasses or honey. We're able to differentiate ourselves from outer space. And then come back to center, extend both legs. So nice towards even. Big body yawn. Reach your arms overhead. Flex your ankles, sides of the waist towards the ground, ribs in, interlace your fingers and flip your palms towards the back. Like a mountain-like big body yawn for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Taking your arms or hands to your heart, let the feet flop. Roll on over now to your belly, and we'll take up lots of space on our bellies. Feet stay closer together, but bring your arms out wide. So not necessarily right underneath or not necessarily in line with your shoulders, but a little bit higher up. Looking to the right, bend your right elbow slightly, and now bend your right knee and reach your right leg to the left and extend through the right leg. Again, nice little stretch through the right side seam of the body, or you may feel it in the front of the left shoulder. And then bend the right knee, bring it to center. Now turn your head to the left and bend your left knee and reach your left leg to the right. To get lots of space, you can let your head rest on the ground. And now keep alternating. Do that 2 more times each direction. Feel free to linger at any of those points, any of those sides. A little bit longer. Reaching and expanding. All right, so we need good tension. We're embracing that. And part of embracing the good tension that's from the inside is that it helps us move from a place of integrity and truth of where we are and who we are right here, right now. And let's meet center. So forehead will be center. Hands could be underneath your shoulders, even further away from your shoulders or further back. Let's bring the fingertips onto the ground. So you could even do spidey hands or hands flat on the ground, but make sure you are maintaining tiger's pause as you press the feet down, press the pubic bone down, and curl up into your cobra, and then roll it down. And then you can keep the left shoulder reaching more down and look over your right shoulder. And moving more circularly, whatever that means to you, through your cobras. You can even do a little bit of a wave with your shoulders. Allow this, again, nothing to be too crisp, not going for any certain shape. We're exploring the spaces and places in between and bringing it to center, hands on the ground. Push yourself up and back onto your knees. So we'll come to kneeling. Again, block or a blanket underneath your bottom if you need. Circular or side to side movement, side to side. Relaxing your face and jaw. Some of this movement may be unfamiliar, so make sure that you are breathing. I notice when I'm doing things that are new or novel, I have a tendency to hold my breath. And next time, as you lean to the right, circle with your left hand, diagonal and around, and now to the left, circle. Again, we're not trying to make anything too perfect. Right. We try to get rid of this sense of what you would sometimes call imperfection, or we try to be perfect. We close ourselves off of creativity and life force. One more time, each direction. Finding your center, walking your hands forward, and hands and knees. So now as we come into hands and knees, noticing how we place our hands on the ground. Imagine you're a tigress or a panther, exploring your terrain, floating one hand up and the other. So you're inviting in a sense of buoyancy. It's like you're doing some kind of suction cup action. Sometimes I feel like I'm placing my hands through a light taffy. And then keep the hands on the ground, but maintain that sense of connection and buoyancy through the center of your hands. Curl your toes under, bring the hips back and up into downward facing dog. And invite the same sense of buoyancy as you roll through the feet. And so there's a sense of resiliency through the feet as you touch the earth and press away. Let's do that 2 more times. And then you'll bring it to center and rolling dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, bring the hips back. Articulate through the spine. Drop the tailbone as you lengthen the legs. Roll the spine forward. And then bend the knees and recoil back. Do that 2 to 3 more times. Own breath. And taking child's pose, of course, whenever you need. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Reaching your left leg up, bend the right knee, and you're going to take your right knee towards your left elbow, circle it towards the right, and circle it up into that down dog. 2 more times. Circle the knee to the left, to the right, and up. And 1 more time. Good. Bringing that right knee to the outside of the right wrist for half pigeon pose. You can slide the left leg back. Fingertips could be wide. And rolling, or rather extending the spine down, elbows wide, and rolling up. 2 to 3 more times. We're trying to bring more circular movement to familiar postures. And now you're going to make your way down, slide your right arm forward, and you're going to roll. Embrace awkward and life off the mat, rolling to the right side. And you'll sweep the left leg up, and you're like in a half happy baby. Almost to my mat so you can see. With the right leg, left leg up to the sky. And now you roll the left leg to the left, so you come onto the outer left leg. Keep holding onto the right leg. And now roll to the right and bring the left leg to the left, or the left leg to the right. And side to side. If you want, you can keep it on one side and circle the left leg around. Whatever feels good to you. It's like a half happy baby. Side to side. Exploring, again, familiar postures in a more circular way, and also off the linear limits that we place on ourselves. The yoga mat is a great rectangle of refuge. And sometimes it could also be beneficial to explore life off the yoga mat. And we'll meet center. And again, take the right arm overhead, or you could keep the hand to your right foot and roll your way onto your mat again, into your half pigeon pose. Get yourself reorientated into your half pigeon pose, and about again 3 times, rolling down and up. This kind of practice is kind of interesting and novel. So getting comfortable with expecting the unexpected. And then we'll make our way into downward facing dog. Bring the hips up and back, pedal it out. Again, having that sense of buoyancy and adaptability in your feet and ankles. Left leg reaches up. Bend the knee. And as you roll it forward through the spine, left knee towards, right elbow, circle it to the left and up and back. So you're circling within that left hip. And you're maintaining that sense of core awareness. Let's meet in half pigeon pose. Left knee outside of left wrist. You can slide the right leg back about 3 to 4 times. Rolling and waving through the spine. Relaxing the jaw. And now let's make our way towards the ground. Left arm reaches forward. You're going to roll onto your left side. Right leg up, left hand either to the ankle or to the outer edge of the foot. Rocking it side to side. You can even keep it to one side if there's something that feels good to you. I like to keep it to my left side and circle around a couple times with the right leg. Feel free to play. Play with the breath and movement where you are in space as you move your way through any areas of stuckness, whether it be physically, mentally, and emotionally, of how things you feel like things should be. Explore how things can be, new movement possibilities. And then we'll make our way to the mat again. So rolling to your left side. Pigeon pose, half pigeon. 3 to 4 times, rolling as a rinse cycle. We'll make our way. Downward facing dog, as many steps as you need. Again, pedal it out. Again, you're moving as if you're moving lightly by pressing the ground away. And lift your right leg up. This time, place your right foot forward. Take both hands to the inside of your right foot and lower the back knee down. And circle your hips 3 times each direction. Relax your shoulders. This movement exploration. We'll meet center. Left hand on the ground, could be fingertips kind of wide to the left. Reaching your right arm up. And as you exhale, you're going to sweep your right arm underneath your body, in between your front foot and your front hand. Bend the elbow. Maybe give yourself a little hug as right hand taps the back of your left ribs as you look inward. And we'll flow with that. About 4 or 5 more times. You also have an option to keep that back knee lifted. Meeting yourself where you are as you expand. And then you look inward. Again, this pulsation of life force, expansion and contraction in yoga, it's called spanda. And after your last round, we'll meet both hands on the ground. Slide your right foot halfway back, lift the back knee, And spin all your toes to the right. A little bit of an arm balance. You could drop down to the back knee or left knee if you need to. And arc up like a rainbow. Right bicep over right ear. Then lower your hips a little bit and reach your right arm to the back of the mat. 2 more times like that. There's some pockets of fire within the fluidity here. Good, 1 more. Pressing that right foot down, lift the bottom hip up higher, and then 3 circles if you still have it in you right now. Around. And we'll meet. Both hands to the ground, toes forward, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Okay. Being purposeful in your movement as you land through the toes, ball the foot, heel to the ground, and then reverse it. Left leg reaches up. Left foot forward. Place both hands to the inside of your left foot. Lower your right knee down and circle your hips around. Again, acknowledging our 3-dimensionality, the circular nature of our breath, as we embrace all aspects of our experience and ourselves. Switch directions if you want. Meeting center, keeping the right hand, fingertips to the ground and kind of wide to the right, left arm up. And as you exhale, sweeping the left arm in between front hand and front foot. Give yourself a hug. You can tap your left fingertips to the outside of your right side ribs. About 4 to 5 more times. You also have an option to keep that back knee lifted. Again, we're not trying to make anything too crisp. Letting go of the P's of perfection or pleasing or performing. Feel free to make it your own. After your last round, we'll meet with both hands down. You can start off with right knee down as you slide your left foot halfway back. Lift the back knee, right hand stays to the ground, right shoulder away from the ear as you turn all your toes to the left. Whatever's touching the ground, press down and lift up, rounding more through the upper side body like a rainbow, like an arc. Then lower the hips a little, reach the left arm to the back. Exhale, press away and expand. Inhale, you can contract without collapsing. And after that last round, if you still want to keep lifting up, 3 big circles around. And slowly releasing. Both hands to the ground, toes face forward. Step it back into downward facing dog, pedal it out. And maintaining those tigress paws. As you claw the mat with your finger pads. And then lower down to your knees. And again, that sense of bouncing back as you move and roll through the hands. Right, the circular movement addresses the fascia, which is our internal system of recoil and elasticity. Our sense of resilience. And then maintain that sense through the hands, curl the toes under, and again, a couple times pedaling through the feet. And then we'll add the hands. I like to think of it as a tiger's paw. So I got bending my right knee and my left knee and my left foot, and I could sweep my right arm towards the left. Or you could play around with which side. Maybe it's the same side. Maybe it's the opposite. Playing around with that sense of buoyancy. And let's bring it to center. Bring your feet as wide as the mat and walk your hands towards your feet. Maintain a sort of downward-like shape with the upper body as the heels come down to the ground. So you're keeping the hip creases soft and the back of the knee soft. Fingertips wide. Draw energy up from the center of your palms to your armpits, the back of the heart, and let the hips lean back. So creating some self-traction through the spine as the head go. And breathe, three-dimensional breath. Walk the hands further back. We'll take a ragdoll variation. Opposite hand to opposite tricep or elbow, let the head go. And begin to sway side to side in an infinity symbol. Allowing this to be a movement for vitality. And reverse, nice and fun for the brain. It's as much brain training as it is breath and body training. And awareness, tracing out that, and bring it to center. Release your hands, bend the knees, press the feet down. Belly flies in and up as you roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing to come on up. Once you're up, place your right hand on your heart. Make a big circle around and then switch. And you could shift the weight from right to left as you make big circles with the extended arm. 2 more times each direction as you shift your weight from one side to the other, still maintaining a connection to the earth through the feet. Bring both hands to your heart and imagine you're going to scoop up some liquid vitality. As you bend your right knee, reach to the right foot and circle it up to center. And now to the left and up and around. Again, not making anything too crisp. These are circles of exploration as we move into and around and within areas of stuckness and through. One more time. Each direction might be getting a little bit of the heart rate up. That sense of vitality. And finding your center and release your arms, hands to your heart. Let's bring the feet closer together. And again, you can step off the mat. So let's notice how we are kissing our feet to the earth with that sense of buoyancy and vitality. And you could use your hands. So we'll start off first by landing with the foot that's stepping forward, toes, ball of the foot, heel. And you could use your hands too, like a tiger or a panther forward. And then the same thing back, landing, exploring, landing, toe, ball, heel. And let's try something different. Landing now with the heel, rolling through the foot. One is not better than the other. It's exploration. And reverse it. Yeah, the heel's back a little bit trickier. And then we'll bring it to center. So maintaining that sense of buoyancy and resiliency through the foundation of the feet and also our hands. Step to the center of your mat and then step your feet out wide, about an estimate of ankles underneath wrist, but you could always adjust. Turn your toes to the right, bend through the front knee, and more circular movement through the upper body, but maintaining that sense of buoyancy from the feet up. Just circle the right arm over as you reach to the back body, and then to the left. Right and left. So there is an element of lateral gliding here as you circle around. Let's do that 2 more times. Each side. And you can even change the circles if you want. And we'll pass through center. Bring your heels and toes out. Look inward. Feel some contraction. And expand out. Take up lots of space. Warrior 2 now to the left. Bend through the front knee. And find your circles around. Just sweeping the energy around you and maintaining a sense of stability, not rigidity, to the lower body to help support movement. Again, we don't want to be rigid, and a connection to that sense of self through the core, changing the direction, whatever feels good to you. Mix it up. And bring it to center. Straighten the legs, heels in, toes out. If you can remember, other arm in front as you give yourself a big hug. Contracting, looking inward, acknowledging that part of the life force without collapsing. And expand, take up lots of space. Warrior two again. This time some yin yang, reverse warrior towards extended side angle. So as reverse, we bend the elbows, kind of making that yin yang sign. And to extended side angle, you could bend the elbows. Do that about 3 or 4 more times. Rhythm of your own breath. Keeping that awareness of the connection of your feet to the ground as you maintain a sense of buoyancy through the upper body and exploration. We'll meet center, warrior two, straighten out the front leg, heels and toes out. Give yourself a hug. Take up space. Warrior two now to the left, bending through that front knee. And again, reversing, bending the elbows. You can take whatever mudra you like. You can bring the first 2 fingers together. There are a couple. One for life force is to take fold the thumb and the last 2 fingers together and extend the first finger and the middle finger. The prana mudra. And one more time. Let's bring it to center. Bring the heels in, toes out, and folding, or rather contracting inward. Extend the arms out. Again, you can release the first 2 fingers as you fold the thumb over the ring finger and the pinky. Bring your feet parallel to each other. Open up through the chest if you want to keep that prana mudra, and then fold, release the hands to the ground. And like seaweed at the bottom of the sea, side to side, you could bend and shift the weight to one side. Bring yourself to center, come into halfway lift. And as you exhale, walk your hands to the front of the mat, step it back into down dog, and pedal it out. Make your way onto your knees. Tops of the feet, and walk your hands back. Taking some power in the pause as we took some pause to find our pause. Right? Sometimes we have to remind ourselves not to plow through a situation or movements so that we can feel the benefits, the buzz of all our efforts. Okay, now staying kneeling, extend your arms out to the sides. Bring your palms forward. And now you're going to take your right hand more forward. So you're going to flex at the wrist as you extend the left side. So the fingertips that reach back, drop your ear to the same side in which the fingertips drop back, and then side to side. So you're switching which fingertips reach forward, and you're tilting your head to the direction of the fingertips reaching back. Another 3, 2, and 1. Both palms facing forward, head center, exhale, right elbow underneath the left. Lift the elbows up, lift the back of the heart up into extension, exhale, round through the upper back, breathe into the space in the back of the heart, and then 2 circles around, leading with the elbows each direction. 2 times each direction. And then open your arms, expand your wings, wings of your heart. Left elbow underneath, lift and round. And circle 2 times each direction. And after your last round, expand the wings and release your hands down. Walk it forward onto your hands and knees, circle your ankles, wiggle your toes. Keep the left hand on the ground, reach the right arm up, and thread your right arm behind your left wrist. And bring it back on up and find 5 more points, different points, until you reach right arm in front of your left knee. So you're gonna find 5 different points as you thread. Again, this circular movement, good stuff for the fascia. And after your last round, right hand down, and we'll do the left side. Left arm reaches up. Starting off, threading behind your right wrist. Lift up, 1 point just behind where you were before, where you were all the way to in front of your right knee. And we'll meet center, hands and knees. Extend your right leg to the right. So this is a gate pose variation. You can have the outer edge of your foot parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Keep the right hand down. You'll probably bend the right elbow. Thread your left arm to the right. You could reach for your right ankle if that's accessible to you. Meet yourself where you are. Stay here, or you can walk your right fingertips towards the front of the mat and bend the elbow to press down, and keep the back of the neck nice and long. Chin towards your chest slightly. And breathe fully, 3-dimensional breath, front, back, and sides. Even though in a way we're holding the posture, there's still an element of movement and adaptability with the breath. As mindfully as you can, slide your right hand back, press yourself on up to center, hands and knees. Let's switch sides, left leg to the left, and threading your right arm through to the left side, maybe grabbing onto the ankle, maybe not. Meet yourself where you are. This side might be really different. Keep the back and neck nice and long. You can walk your left fingertips forward, bend the left elbow. Whatever's touching the ground, press away. There's always an option to take your left arm and wrap it around, or you can take your left fingertips to your sacrum. Open up through the left side of your chest for another 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully releasing. Make your way onto your hands and knees. Walk your hands back until you're standing on your knees. Gate pose variation. Extend your right leg out and extend your arms out to the sides. And very similar how we did in reverse warrior with the yin and yang. Bend the elbows side to side, but maintaining also connection to the feet and connection to your core. So you're using your feet and your core to create some kind of form to channel and contain your flow. It's like very much like the yin yang symbol. There's order and chaos, and the black dot and the white dot within the opposite color is that order and the chaos, chaos and the order. Meet each other. Come back on up to center. And actually, let's keep the right leg out. So this time we'll add a little bit of a lateral flexion and rotation. So now you're going to reach your left hand to your right foot and come back on up to center. And do that 3, 4 more times. Feel like I'm taking a bow. So there's acknowledgement of looking inward and then expansion. You can even let the chin drop in towards the chest through the movement. And now we'll make our way to center. Pause. You can even sit your hips on your heels. Rise back on up, extending your left leg out to the left. Extend out through the arms. And some yin and yang, like extended side angle and reverse warrior. So also you are exploring and expanding within the boundaries again, from whatever's touching the earth, that sense of hugging into your midline, right? The circular, the cylinder nature of your core, fueled by the vitality of your breath. Let's do one more time, each direction. And then let's meet center. And now that your left leg is extended out, reach your right fingertip to your left foot. I'm going to take a bow here and expand outward. You can make it more circular if you want, adding your own expression to this. Let's do that 4 more times. Own breath. Four more times. And we'll meet center. Take a moment here to pause and notice. Have a seat on your heels. And make your way now to seated position onto your bottom. We'll do a variation of deer pose. So I'm going to take my left knee kind of at an angle, teeny bit of an angle to the left, and I tuck my left foot behind me, and my right shin about parallel to the front of the mat in front of me. And side to side movement here. Side to side, lateral flexion. And let's meet to the right. You can lower your right elbow down to the ground, reach your left arm overhead, and expand out through your left leg. Finding your nice big body on here. And bring it back in. You could bring the left knee in, left elbow in, reach and expand about 3-4 times. That's a little core work, expansion and contraction. And we'll bring it to center, left knee where it was before, pressing yourself on up, taking your left hand to your left ankle, reach and expand. And then lower the right hand to the right and a little bit behind you. And circle your arm up as you lift your hips up. And then lower the hips down and reach your left arm back into the left. About 3 to 4 more times. If there's any other movement that you are inspired to explore that I haven't suggested, go for it. And one more time. Let's meet center. You bring your hands to the heart or arms out to the side or fingertips down for support. As you transition, you could try without hands. That's a whole nother class. And now side to side, side to side. And let's meet with the left elbow to the ground, reaching your right bicep over and extending big body on through the right side body. And then bring the right knee, right elbow together, reach and expand. About 5 more times. Own breath. Now reaching, placing the right knee where it originally was, right hand to right ankle, reach the left arm over. And then lower the left hand to the left and a little bit behind you. And sweep the hips up as you circle the right arm up and around. However you want, lower the hips and lift up again, or you can keep the hips lifted and keep circling like that. Couple more times. And then we'll slowly make our way onto our bottoms again. With or without hands, you can make your way into seated position, bringing the heels in line with each other in front of your groin, in front of your pubic bone. Extend the arms out to the sides and tap your thumb to each finger. So you can start with the ring finger, rhythm of your own breath a couple times. Now we'll add some circular movement. So you can start off with the thumb and the first finger together. Round inward, cross the arms in front, overhead, and circle. Yeah, and then we'll change thumb to middle finger. Cross in front, round inward, cross overhead, open, and circle. And do that 2 more times so you tap also the ring finger and the pinky. And we'll meet in a comfortable seated position. You could close the eyes, and again, pausing to enjoy and marinate in all that fluid movement and breath. And then you could stay here for a seated meditation of your own or any resting pose, a short but sweet Shavasana, so you can lie down. Feel free to explore any other movement you feel like you need to help balance out your practice. Right. Taking power in the pause. Allow yourself to marinate in that internal yoga buzz that you created as you feel your life force, your internal sense of support and aliveness. Give the weight of your body to the ground as you soften from the inside out. Allow your body to become more liquidy as you melt across the floor, off your mat, softening and melting the front of your brain to the middle of the brain, to the back of the brain, all the way down to the ground. Allowing yourself to breathe. Staying here as long as you have some more time, go for it. If not, begin to deepen your breath, bringing movement back to your fingers and your toes, gently turning your head side to side with awareness, bending one knee and then the other. Drawing them in, giving yourself a big hug of gratitude for investing this time on your mat. Roll on over to your right side, and with awareness, come on up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes could be closed or soft gaze. Overlapping your hands on top of your heart as you think of one thing in your life that you are grateful for, no matter how big or small. And we'll end together with one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose, fill up. And exhale out of your mouth. And as always, gratitude for practicing together. May it all be a benefit to us